At 25, they traded probably the best scorer in the NBA at 25. And he didn't know about it. I'm excited to see the first time the Lakers play Dallas in Dallas. I'm super excited to see that. Oh my God. It's in a few weeks. If we not playing, I'm buying front row tickets to that. Hey, for real.
Shocked probably like the rest of the world. Just didn't hear it coming, didn't see it coming. Try not to put too much into it. Try to wrap my head around it. I'm glad my job is to put.
I think nobody's safe in the league, it seems like.
The NBA just witnessed an earthquake-level trade that has everyone from fans to front officers doing double takes in a blockbuster move that instantly flipped the league's landscape. The Los Angeles Lakers have snagged Luka Dončić along with Maxi Kleber and Markieff Morris. Heading to Dallas, Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 first-round pick. The deal is as bold as it is shocking, and it's lit up social media like wildfire. Reactions are flooding in from every corner of the league, and even star players are stunned. One of the most heartfelt responses came from Nikola Jokić, Doncic's longtime friend and fellow European standout. Their friendship goes beyond the hardwood built on shared roots, cultural challenges, and the grind of becoming international icons in a foreign land. So when the news dropped, Jokić was quick to show support, knowing just how big of a shift. This is for Luka. Uprooting from Dallas, a city that shaped his NBA identity, to the spotlight and pressure cooker of Los Angeles, isn't just a career move, it's a life changer. Now, the spotlight turns to Doncic as he steps into Hollywood's bright lights. Can he thrive in purple and gold? How will he handle the expectations that come with wearing a Lakers jersey? One thing's certain, this trade didn't just shake up rosters, it just rewrote the script for the next chapter of NBA. Drama.
I texted him, he felt it, of course, I think he didn't expect it, of course. I think he just needs to be with his family right now, it's a big move, it's a business, I don't know, I think nobody expected, especially not him. I think nobody's safe in the league, it seems like, but I think he's going to do a good job, I think he's the player for the bigs.
Nikola Jokic's reaction to the Luka Dončić trade wasn't just surprise, it felt personal. For Jokić, it was a reminder of how quickly deep NBA bonds can be broken. His comments about family highlighted the emotional toll these moves take, even on the league's biggest stars. Still, after the initial shock, Jokić saw the bright side. He knows Luka's talent deserves a massive stagehand. There's none bigger than Los Angeles. Steph Curry also weighed in, clearly stunned by the news. As someone who once faced trade rumors early in his career, Curry understands how rare it is to become truly untouchable. He pointed out that only a few players reach that level, and he's one of them. But with a smile, he reminded everyone, in the NBA, anything can happen.
It's a reminder, maybe only a few in this league that can go to sleep with any type of confidence, but that you'll still be there. It's kind of a very unique situation across the board, but I think just the idea that it happened in silence was pretty crazy. The fact that you hear a trade and everybody thinks somebody's been hacked is hilarious.
That moment, the trade hit the headlines. The NBA world froze. Luka Dončić for Anthony Davis. Fans thought ESPN had been hacked. It wasn't just unexpected, it was silent. No leaks, no rumors, just a bombshell out of nowhere. Even Steph Curry couldn't believe it. Sure, big trades happen, but this one felt different. It brought back memories of early Kevin Durant, so talented, so central, that trading him seemed impossible. That's how people saw Luka. Untouchable, which made the move all the more shocking. Kevin Durant, who's no stranger to trade drama himself, was floored. But what stuck with him most, Luka's age. A superstar in his early 20s is the crown, jewel for any franchise. That's what Luka was for Dallas. Now he's rocking purple and gold in LA. Durant couldn't help but reflect on the surreal nature of it all. He's been through the highs and lows of trades, but for Luka, this had to hit differently. Still, despite the surprise, KD showed empathy, acknowledging how jarring this moment must be for Luka, the Mavs, and Lakers fans alike.
Insane, man. It's crazy. Yeah, I would have never thought Luka Dončić would get traded at this age, mid-season. Yes, the NBA is a wild place, man. If he can get traded, then anybody's up, for grabs, So yeah, it's So the fans, somebody spectating is pretty fun. I know it's kind of nerve-wracking, no part for Luka and everybody in Dallas, LA, AD.
Last time the NBA was rocked like this, it was the Durant and Kyrie saga. Back then, Dallas rolled the dice on Kyrie Irving, teaming him up with Luka Dončić. Critics called it risky, but the gamble paid off. The two stars clicked, silenced the noise, and powered the Mavericks all the way to the finals, building real chemistry both on and off the floor. That's why this trade stings even more. After everything they achieved together, seeing that duo split overnight, it cuts deep. For Luka, for Kyrie, and for fans who believed they were just getting started.
Just really shocked, and you just don't imagine that you're gonna get ready to go to sleep and then you find out news like that. So it's still a grieving process right now. Miss my hermano. We had a lot of time together.
Zachary, Irving summed it up perfectly when he called Luka Dončic's trade a grieving process. This wasn't just about losing a teammate, it was about losing a brother on and off the court. Kyrie's been through the ups and downs of being traded. So when he speaks on the emotional and personal toll, it carries real weight. At the same time, Anthony Edwards, one of the league's rising stars, and someone who's battled Luka on the biggest stage, had nothing but praise. After their showdown in the Western Conference Finals, there was no trash talk, just respect. Edwards even went so far as to call Luka the best scorer in the NBA. And coming from someone on the same trajectory, that's not just a statement only a fellow young franchise cornerstone could make.
They say that nobody knew about the trade. Yeah, so that's crazy. At 25, they traded probably the best scorer in the NBA at 25. And he didn't know about it. So it's a lot more digging somebody got to do to find out why he got traded. Because you don't just trade him at 25. He just went to the finals, you know what I'm saying? So I feel bad for Luka, man, because I saw some on YouTube that say he just bought a crib and everything in Dallas. So that sucks, man, that sucks.
Anthony Edwards didn't sugarcoat it. He called the trade absurd and suggested there might be more going on behind the scenes. And honestly, he could be right. Moves like this don't happen without a big reason. For Luka Dončić, it's a tough pill to swallow. He recently bought a $15 million home in Dallas, clearly thinking he'd be a Maverick for life. After all he gave to the team, this blindsided him. Meanwhile, Josh Hart added a bit of humor, shouting out Lakers GM Rob Pelinka for the move on, joking about how Pelinka's first big trade once involved Hart himself.
You gotta give credit to Rob Pelinka, man. He's a highway rivalry, Good for them. It's always good, with someone like me when I get traded for like a superstar. So kind of got traded for Luka, so it's kind of great vibes.
Josh Hart always knows how to lighten the mood, and this time was no different. The former Laker, who was part of the trade that sent Anthony Davis to Los Angeles in 2019, couldn't resist joking about the latest Blockbuster move. With a smirk, he quipped that, through a series of trade connections, he was technically swapped for Luka Dončić. The locker room erupted in laughter, but underneath the joke was a powerful truth. Being traded for Luka Dončić is no small deal. This trade is a game-changer for the NBA. Back in 2019, the Lakers gave up Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, and 3 first-round picks to land Anthony Davis, a gamble that ultimately paid off with a championship. Now, they flipped Davis for one of the most exciting young stars in the league, just as he's entering his prime. As for the Pelicans, they've now moved on from every player involved in that trade. Giannis Antetokounmpo also chimed in. Staying true to his love for European players in the NBA, he jokingly declared that it's officially time for Europeans to dominate the league, and he didn't hold back on Luka, saying he's made for the bright lights of LA. Given Luka's skill and personality, it's hard to disagree. He's built for the Hollywood spotlight.
Now that a European will be, I believe, the face of the Lakers, this is something new for Europe. It's never happened before. I just love it. You know what I want? I want Luka to the Lakers. I want Jokic to the Knicks. I want all the Europeans to go to all the big markets, to see something incredible. This is what I want. This is my dream.
Gold, Giannis Antetokounmpo be hinting at his own future, with rumors swirling about him possibly joining a bigger market team, including the Golden State Warriors. His recent comments might suggest he's keeping his options open beyond Milwaukee. Meanwhile, in Dallas, Klay Thompson finds himself adjusting after Luka Dončic's trade. Last season, injuries kept them from developing full chemistry. But when they did play together, Klay's shooting and movement were a perfect fit for Luka's playmaking. With Luka now gone, Klay's role will shift. He may not get the same open looks, but he's no stranger to change. Having experienced his own contract battles and seen Anthony Davis's dominance, Klay knows how quickly things can shift in the NBA.
I wish Luka the best. I mean, it was a joy to play with him in those 22 games we were together. But we're going to obviously welcome AD with open arms. You know, obviously one of the best players ever, being top 75. And it's the nature of the business. You have to be professional about all the things in front of you. And I look forward to keeping the goal the same.
If there's one player seen as Luka Doncic's rival, it's Devin Booker. But when the trade news broke, Booker wasn't celebrating. Instead, he sounded more reflective, noting the NBA's unpredictability and how even the biggest stars aren't guaranteed stability. There was a slight edge to his tone, a reminder that Luka wasn't as untouchable as many thought. And with the Suns fully committed to Booker, he's the clear face of their franchise. Still, this trade shows that nothing is permanent in the NBA. The Suns have made questionable moves before, and as loyal as they are to Booker now, who's to say he won't find himself in the same situation as Luka someday?